Hi guys, I'm back again today with another reaction video, and today we're checking out how the geography of the US is weirder than you think. Okay, so before we start, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell button to get notified whenever I do upload a video. So guys, let's check this out. It doesn't want to stick on my clothing. I'll figure it out later, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's raining season here, so I'm gonna be using the mic a lot nowadays for my reactions. It's raining crazily right now. If I didn't use the mic, you would hear it. So that's why we are doing this. But yeah, let's check this out. Did I say subscribe? If I didn't, then here we go.
This video is made possible by Audible. Get a free audiobook of your choice from Audible exclusively by going to audible.com/reallifelore in the
Let's do this.
description. This is a map of the United States, and
Ah.
hundreds of years of colonization and laws has made the country's geography pretty weird in more than just a few places. Today, I'm going to show you a few maps that will change your perception of how you see this country and its place in the world. First of all, South America. At first glance, it seems like South America is directly south of North America, and while that's kind of the case, it's also
It's not entirely accurate. Yeah, it's not. How would it? I mean, the shift and everything. Anyways, let him explain.
not entirely accurate. If we were to move South America up, you'd find that
Yeah.
nearly the entire continent is east of Florida.
I think people knew that, right? Or no? Well, I mean,
And that the westernmost edge would only
should.
be about 380 miles west of the Azores, which are a part of Portugal. Next up, if you had to guess right now which US state is closest to Africa, which one would you say?
Somewhere here, I think, right? Like on the East Coast? Somewhere in the East Coast, like here, New York, somewhere there. I don't know.
If you didn't say Maine, you're wrong,
Okay,
but
I was
yeah,
wrong.
despite being in the Northeast and sharing a long border with
So
Canada,
Northeast,
if you draw a
okay.
straight line across the ocean, you'll see that Maine is in fact the closest state geographically to Africa. Moving on
Interesting.
next to Texas, there's a couple pretty weird things about this state. First of all, this town that nobody has ever heard of called Dalhart. This town is located 485 miles away from the Texan state capital of Austin, which means that Dalhart is actually closer to the state
Excuse me?
capitals of New Mexico, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming.
Wow.
6 other different states. Another
That's
way to
interesting. I
understand
like
just
that
how
fact.
big Texas actually is by taking a look at the city of El Paso, located in the westernmost edge of the state. If you draw a line from here to the easternmost edge of Texas, and then move that line over to point to the west, you'll see that the line goes past Los Angeles,
US
meaning
is
that
cool.
LA is closer.
I mean, like the geography of the United States is so cool. It has so many facts and like amazing, weird things. But ultimately, these are some stuff that really fascinates me. So I'm glad that we are watching this.
To El Paso than the other side of Texas is. But LA itself is in a deceiving geographic location
why?
of its own. You would think that since it's on the west coast, it would be further west than most other US cities. But that's not totally true either. Reno, Nevada is actually located further
Oh
west.
yeah, because and then LA is here. So obviously this one points outward more, and then LA is just inward. So it's kind of like more on the inside of the West Coast. Does it make sense?
Than LA is, which you can see when a line is drawn from
Yeah,
Reno
basically.
southwards. And speaking of weird senses of latitude, here's some more examples that might mess with your head a little. Austin, Texas is roughly on the same latitude as Cairo, Egypt.
I mean,
New York
if
City
you-
is roughly equal to Madrid in Spain. Minneapolis is
Maybe because I'm into geography, this makes sense.
close to Venice, Vancouver is almost equal to Paris, and Calgary in Canada is almost equal to London. The North American continent has much cooler temperatures on average than Europe does at higher latitudes like this,
Truth.
which is why this is a little confusing. But perhaps equally confusing is what happens when you look at a globe and flip it on its side. If you start at Mexico City and draw a straight line out in this direction, you'll be amazed to find how many other cities the line roughly matches up with.
Don't
For
people-
Mexico City, the line
Don't people know this? Like, this is one of the things that fascinates me. I have so many like geography books, and like the only books that I bought when I was in high school were like the maps, like books that had geography and maps on it, and I would literally just look at all these points right here, the latitude, longitude, and also equator, the equatorial countries or cities. And even my phone, the only games that I have will be geography games. Maybe I'm just weird. Okay.
Also goes through Atlanta, Washington, D.C., New York City, Paris, and eventually Izmir in Turkey. The perception is
Izmir.
weird because we usually think of the world in terms of a map and not in terms of its true spherical shape.
Who
The
does that?
final geographic oddities in America that I'll be discussing in this video are located around the northernmost parts of the country. First up in this region is Detroit, where if you start in the downtown region and travel south, you'll end up pretty quickly in Canada. If you head east, you'll also end up in Canada. If you go
What?
north, you'll end up in Lake Huron, and then eventually
In Canada
again. It's easy to end up in
Amazing.
Canada while in Detroit. But it's
What?
even
You can be in Canada anytime, east, west, Canada. Oh, crazy. Let's go to Detroit.
easier while in Point Roberts, an exclave of the United States south of Vancouver. The only way to get from this part of America to the other part of America is by driving 25 miles through Canada, using their very small airport or taking a boat across the bay. There's
That is so crazy to know that for you to get to the other side of a state, you have to go to another country. Are you kidding me? US is a fascinating. I told you. This is crazy. Maybe a lot of people are watching this and saying, "What is so interesting about this video?" So many things, okay? So many things.
over 1,300 people that live here, and only one school that only provides education up to 4th grade. From 4th grade
Why?
on, American children in the Point have to take a 40-minute bus ride through Canada to the other side of the US. And finally,
What?
let's talk a little bit about Alaska. Alaska is pretty obviously the northernmost US state, but it's also at the same time the westernmost and easternmost state because of the international date line located here, which part of Alaska crosses over. The date line causes another weird situation here, though, on the Diomede Islands, where it crosses
Diomede.
between one island owned by Russia and another island owned by the United States. The
Oh.
result is that despite
didn't know
only
this,
being
or maybe
just
I
a couple
did and I
miles
forgot.
away from one another, the Russian island is 21 hours ahead in time from the American
That's so
island.
cool.
This has led the islands to be nicknamed
That's so cool, right? It's like just one place. And if you go here, it's like, let's say 10 a.m. And here it's like, what, 12 midnight? I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. Or it could be like 10 p.m., right? That's so, oh, it's, it's weird because you can be from one country, which I'm talking about US, and it's different time on the west and east coast. That's so crazy to me, right? Because in the Philippines it's the same time everywhere. So when I like try to figure out what time it is in different states, it's just so fascinating how different the time zones are. And we had to learn that also in school, like the plus 800 the I don't even know what it's called anymore.
as Yesterday Island and Tomorrow Island,
Cool.
and during the winter when the water around the islands freeze, it becomes theoretically possible to walk between America and Russia.
That's so
While
cool.
in reality it may be illegal to walk between the two
Oh.
islands, something that isn't illegal at all is clicking the link in this video's description
This
to get
man.
a free audiobook of your choice at audible.com/reallifelore.
Is
As
it
I'm
done?
sure you've heard before, Audible is a leading
Is it
provider
done?
of audiobooks and other spoken word entertainment. They have
Is he just telling us
influence
about
not only the
Audible for like a
recommend
minute?
giving it 100% off everything else in the description.
I have Audible already, so thank you. But yeah, that is so fascinating. I never thought of it in that way. Like there's so many things that I don't look at it in a larger scale until like we watch this type of videos. And yeah, it gives you a lot of perspectives, which I really love. I like looking at things in different angles, perspective, because the world is not just one lens, right? There's so many lenses. So it's really nice to delve into this type of thing. I hope my voice is clear. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to like irritate the people wearing earphones. I'm sorry. But anyways, that was a really cool. I don't know if I'm the only one who found this amazing, but let me know if you enjoy this type of like weird nerdy stuff as well when it comes to geography, because I can be your geography everybody. But if you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.